Joel Embiid's exhibition debut for USA basketball was a struggle. What do we make of this? We'll talk about that and more next on Locked On 76ers.
You are Locked On 76ers, your daily Philadelphia 76ers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
For making Locked On 76ers your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Hi, I'm Keith Pompey, and this is my right-hand man, John Mitchell. We are the co-hosts of Locked On 76ers. We got a lot to talk to you about today. First segment, we want to talk about Joel Embiid. His debut didn't go as a lot of people in Philadelphia expected. Debut with USA basketball in the exhibition game, last night's exhibition game against Canada in Las Vegas. And then secondly, we have to talk about Jeff Dowtin Jr. Now, Jeff Dowtin is a guy we all know who the Sixers signed last season, but they waived him this offseason, or they didn't pick up his option, didn't pick up the team option for him. Well, quiet is kept. He's been the most impressive guy in the summer league, and had another quality game in three games in the Salt Lake City Summer League. He's averaging 17 points, 5.3 assists. He's shooting 50% from three. He's balling. So we'll talk about him in the second segment, and then we'll go on and surprise you in the third one. But listen, because it's going to be a good surprise. But Mitch, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid struggled. He fouled out in 12 minutes, right? He was trying to get these foul calls, and he couldn't. And of the three centers they had, Bam and Anthony Davis, he looked like his play was the least impressive. Are you concerned? Should people be concerned? What do you make of it?
It's Olympic preparatory basketball, Keith. I'm not overly concerned about what he did. USA basketball is probably one. They're like, okay, they may have a little bit of concern because he only played 12 minutes and he fouled out in that short period of time. But people shouldn't be expecting him to go drop 70 on a Canadian team like he did on Wemby during the regular season. So I think that I'm not concerned about it overly. I know there was just following, people on Twitter or X or whatever it is. There were people who people were like, oh, he's not adjusting right to the Olympic basketball. This isn't really Olympic basketball right now. This is just, the team just came together. The team is just starting to fill itself out. There are going to be games like that. That's how Olympic basketball is. It was a sloppy game, with turnovers and everything. But I'm not concerned. Quite honest, I'm like a lot of people, man. This Olympic thing is, I'm pretty convinced that USA basketball is going to win the Olympics, and I'm not overly invested in whether they win it or not. They do. If they don't, they don't. Honestly, as journalists and reporters and podcasters, I think it's a better thing if it's more interesting if they don't win the the gold medal. But that's putting the cart before the horse. But no, I'm not concerned. I just Hey man, moving forward, Joel's 30 years old. He's going to have to adjust to the Olympic game, and he's going to have to make some adjustments to the NBA game. So he might as well. You know, I know he wasn't crying in his pillow last night, or this morning, as late as that game was. But no, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. I think that team will be fine. And again, I want to see how Joel is just for his basketball IQ to go up. And for him to understand the importance of playing in the paint, playing more in the paint.
Yeah. Now the thing is, so Joel Embiid fouled out after 12 minutes, right? I mean, Team USA did go on to beat Canada 86-72. Anthony Edwards was the leading scorer with 13 points, right? But this is a night that Joel Embiid definitely is going to have to prove upon. But he had 5 points, he has 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and three turnovers. But he looked a little rusty, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, he also did get an unsportsmanlike foul. He got an elbow. He elbowed the White Powell, the guy who was guarding him. So he got stripped a couple times. It was just a rough start, man. And it looked like a lot of times that Embiid is a superstar. And what happens in the NBA when you're that superstar, you tend to get calls fouled. Well, these refs weren't giving it to him.
No, they
so
weren't.
You have to adjust his game a little bit. But again, this was his first time playing, and it's a different type of game. So I believe that, like you, that he will get it together. But, you can't rely on the refs. You can't do things. You're the biggest thing out there, so you're going to have to be a little careful with the way you're swelling your arms or the things that you're doing. And that rip through thing just wasn't working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like this was a good start. I mean, not a good start, but it was a start. The thing that shocked me a little bit was how he faced double teams. They still tried to double him, Now, in one particular play, he did make a great read to Devin Booker.
That was pretty.
You saw that one, right?
Yeah.
And he found Curry for the 3. So, it was cool. But the thing is, he just has to realize that, hey, I'm probably going to draw the same attention, but they're just not going to call the fouls.
Right.
So Joel's a smart guy. He's just going to have to adjust his style of play, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm with you, man. And the reason why I laughed is because last night I was at dinner with the volleyball team and the volleyball parents. We had a team dinner, and they asked me my thoughts. And I was like, look, it's boring when they just blow everybody out. So it's kind of like, I said, for me, I like the drama early on because it brings intrigue. It brings intrigue. Now, if they win, they win. But I want to see the drama. I don't want to see teams just laying down. And I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think they're the favorite. I said, I think it's France. Nah, I mean, I don't think. Well, because first of all, I think that France is playing at home, dude.
Yeah,
they're playing at, and then you got Joel, that factor. Man, every time Joel gets the ball, they're gonna start whistling. Over here, that's the equivalent of the booze, right?
Yeah.
What I mean? It's just, I don't think he's gonna be the villain, the villain. So I think that, does the USA have the most talent?
By far.
Yeah, by far. But I think that France is going to be the favorite because they're playing at home. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to be a crowd favorite. I just don't think that. In Wemby, we saw Wemby evolving right before our eyes in the last quarter of the season, last half of the season. But I think it's a process, man. I think that USA basketball is going to win this thing. I've talked to a lot of people who are really like they wish Joel weren't even over there. A lot of Sixers fans I talked to, they're like, look, man, I wish I'd stay home, get yourself ready. And my mindset is go over there, get the experience, and yes, get ready, but take something from it. And I think that's what he's going to do. I think he'll learn more about winning, being around winning basketball players. I think they're going to win the gold medal. And if he's the villain, maybe that just adds to this whole motivation. And we can talk about that a little bit more, or some other things, but more so look at the summer league when we get back. But now I want to talk to you guys about the Gametime app. You trying to get tickets to see some Major League Baseball? Your Phillies 2-0 now against the Dodgers. Well, you can build memories with baseball. Baseball's that one sport you get out there and you're sitting in the park and you're just enjoying yourself. So my advice is go to Gametime. Gametime is the authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, and it makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Gametime app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Gametime takes the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball tickets. You can get last-minute tickets, you can get flash deals, zone deals, and they're easy to find and buy MLB tickets for every kind of event in your area. So it's not just for baseball. You can get concerts, and the lowest prices guaranteed, event cancellation protection, job loss protection, everything. So my suggestion to you is download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So tell me, are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day long? You should get a life if that's the case. You sometimes have to turn down the volume with all the shouting. Listen, I'm advising you to make the switch to Locked On Sports today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single solitary day.
Do it today, people. Definitely do it today. But so look, here's the thing, Mitch. When we talk about Summer League, everybody hypes up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not really hypes up. I mean, with just calls. I mean, Ricky Council is getting the most love.
Yeah.
For the Sixers. Jared McCain is too. And then we're looking at Dem Bona.
Yeah.
But Jeff Dowtin Jr.
Mm-hmm.
has been balling this Summer League, right?
He has. Yeah.
Yeah. So you look at him, and in the Salt Lake City Summer League that just concluded,
mm-hmm.
he was the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. He was the sixth leading scorer with 17 points per game, right? In regards to assists, he was tied for second in assists at 5.3 per game.
Mm-hmm.
Three-point percentage, which is kind of crazy because I don't know how many times these guys shot the ball. Well, one guy only played in one game. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 5 guys with shot 100%. Another one shot 75.
Right.
But Jeff is like shot 50%, right, in 3 games. Field goal percentage. I mean, Jeff is shooting around 50% as well, right? Mm-hmm. He's shooting 59.4% on field goal percentage. This guy has been balling for the
Yeah.
76ers. I mean, he really has. You know, last night they lost to the Utah Jazz 95 to 83.
Mm-hmm.
Steph had 18 points on 8 for 13 shooting. He had 4 rebounds. He had a game high 6 assists.
Mm-hmm.
He had 1 block. He had and 1 turnover. And in 23 minutes.
Right.
He played his butt off, man. He's really played well.
Yeah, he did. It's and he demonstrated during the regular season that he belonged in the NBA. And he's taking advantage of this opportunity. And I always think when you have to take advantage of an opportunity as a veteran in the summer league, it means that there's probably something lacking from your game. He's kind of in that contract limbo where he's a free agent. He's trying to catch on somewhere. A lot of people, again, I get text messages and see on social people. A lot of people in the Philly area like what this young guy can do. They're liking what they're seeing out of Ricky Council. And the focus, as you said, is on the rookies. It's on the rookie free agent kid Justin Edwards. He didn't, he kind of took a step back from his performance. But it's Jeff Dowtin. He looks like he belongs in the NBA, and that's kind of the extent of it, honestly. He did. I'm looking at the box score now. He did have he had a nice game. 8 for 13, 1 for 3. He led the team, like I said, led the team in assists, 18 points. He's gonna find a home somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be with the Sixers. It doesn't sound like it. You would think if they were really committed to him, he would continue playing with them in the next round of summer games. So we'll see. But yeah, he's been consistent, and he's kind of been consistent, below the surface because people, again, people looking at the Justin Edwards and the Adem Bonas and the Jared McCains in the league for, because those are the guys who they have, monetary commitments with and will have monetary commitments with once these deals get signed. So, he's going to get, again, he's a general contractor trying to find his next contract.
Yeah. But not crazy, but the thing about it is when he did play for the Sixers, it wasn't like, oh my God, here comes Jeff Dowtin.
Right.
He's about to struggle. I mean, he was productive. A lot of guys like playing with him. I mean, he's one of those guys that he's not, is he a starter? No. But he's one of those guys who he's not flashy, but he makes the right play. He's consistent. He does things. I think that he would be a quality addition to the Sixers bench, right?
Yeah.
But again, like you said, you never know what's going to happen. But it seems to me that he's looking for a place where he can play too. And there may be a team, there's the team that he's going to play for the summer league with. Maybe they want to give him a hard look. Now, it's funny, like sometimes guys, they got to go elsewhere to blow up. There's been dudes I know in the past who would get waived by the Sixers. They would stick around. They would do the summer league thing. They do this and that. And then next thing you know, after that, they were like, all right, thank you, peace.
Right.
Well, they was on the G League team. So, maybe for him, this could help him and make the Sixers think that, hey, maybe we should bring you back. But also, like you said, it could also signify that, hey, I know personally for myself that it's time for me to move on. You know what I mean? He could be saying, looking at it that way. Like, I need to move on because it's not going to work out. But, but overall, like, he's played well. He's probably been the second most consistent player. No, he's been the most consistent.
Yeah,
because
you're right.
although Ricky Council has been balling, he did have one game in the middle where he didn't shoot the ball particularly
Yeah.
well. Whereas this guy has been consistent and been giving it
Yeah.
to people the whole time. It's just,
Yeah.
he's not a Sixer anymore, so people just don't pay attention. You know what I mean? They just don't. You know what I mean? So,
And like you said, the fact that he you would think that there had been some conversations. Well, there've been some conversations. They can't talk about it, but they and there's a reason that he's not going to continue playing with the 76ers.
yeah.
In the next where did they're in Salt Lake City next? Where do they go now? Where?
Well, they about to hit they in Vegas. They flew to Vegas yesterday, I believe.
Okay.
Or they fly today. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, so Vegas is the basketball center of the universe, man.
And that's what I want to talk to you about when we get right back.
Mm-hmm.
So, we talk about Vegas being the basketball center of the universe, but when that's said, what do you look for when, we already talked about like the Salt Lake City thing, yada yada, or not? What do you look for? Like, what's your impressions of summer league? Like beforehand, it was something where, I think the NBA summer league has turned out to be bigger than anyone probably could have imagined, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's kind of like it's a showcase of all the teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's real like celebrity driven in a way to a point where they want all the superstars and players and people to sit in the front row, the whole nine. If you got all the teams there, the executives, all this and that. But when you really, and then we anoint these guys as stars.
Yeah.
But there's no equivalent of like, if you're the first overall pick or the second pick, you're going to go up against another young dude and then a bunch of
guys just passing through.
Yeah.
Guys just passing through.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way of saying it. So what we do is we want to anoint them as like they the superstars. And there's been a couple guys who struggled in this. We said they were busts, but then they came back and been the man.
Mm-hmm.
Wembanyama, remember they said he was trash after the first game. And then there's been other guys who've been dominant.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they flamed out. Yeah, what happened to them? So, I mean, what's your thought? What's your impression of this?
Man, last point you made, Keith, that the NBA, if ESPN wanted to, they could do a 30 for 30 on guys who had that experience where they showed up at the summer league and really were impressive, and then they just disappeared. Or they could have guys who just bombed and came back another year and eventually caught on. I mean, it's the drama, and that's why I know I was watching NBA TV the other day, and they did a special on the summer league. It's in Vegas right now. I see now, and again, it's the center of the basketball universe. It doesn't hurt that the Las Vegas Aces are the defending world champions of the women's league, WNBA. Hell, even the President Obama was there last night. I'm hoping maybe somebody can get in his ear and ask him to save America and run for president last minute, so we can get somebody to beat this convicted felon and sexual assaulter who's beating up on the old man. But I digress. No, it's good, man. It's the NBA. The NBA has, if there's one thing the NBA does better than any other league is market itself. It knows how to market itself better than the NFL doesn't need marketing because it's just the biggest sport period in the United States. But the NBA puts those faces out there. The celebrities come out there. And again, you had, President Obama was there last night. Now, granted, that was for Team USA. Kamala Harris has come through for Team USA. If you're a basketball fan, you like it because the NBA makes its production so episodic. It, as soon as the season ends, people are, as soon as your team ends, you start talking about free agency, and boom, the draft is right there. And right after the draft, boom, you have the players who your team drafted. You can now look at them and get a good close look at them up close and personal. And, and good or bad. Now for you, I know that extends, it just extends your work weeks. And it makes your days longer and longer. The season never ends for a reporter, for a real reporter. Not and that's what you are. You're a real reporter. There's a difference. So I enjoy it. You come home and there's basketball on the screen, and I'm curious about. I put very little credence to what I see in summer league, but they're going to go through it again because the Cooper flag. Now there's the Cooper flag hype. You've seen that, and it's going to be interesting because next year he from what I see now, I'm one of these people. I don't read anything into what he did against the Olympic players because that's just like reading Joel Embiid fouling out in 12 minutes, and here's a guy who scored 70 points against Victor Wembanyama, the future of the NBA. But I mean next year it's going to be hyped if Cooper flag goes to Duke and really puts up numbers, and I don't see any. I mean, he's 17 years old. He's ridiculous, and he's been on everybody's radar since he was 14 years old. Like Caitlin Clark, he's a white superstar, so that always sells. And the NBA is going to recognize that, and they're going to bring him out there and push it down your throat. But his game is, from what I've seen, his game is like that. So I'm glad to see it, man. I can never get enough basketball, and that's what the summer league is, man. But I'm not sitting around. I don't want people. I hope people aren't sitting around looking at performances and saying, "Oh my God, this is the end," or "This is the end," or "This is of something," or "This is the beginning of something special." You know what I mean?
Yeah. But one thing I will say this though. The only thing I agree with you with most. The one thing I disagree with you is that dude Cooper Flag. I think he's the truth, man.
Oh no, I'm not knocking Cooper Flag at all. I hope
I think he's the truth.
Yeah, the game is there.
I think he's the truth. Yeah, his game, yeah. So, but I mean,
he's going to get that Caitlin Clark. He's going to get the Caitlin Clark boost. That's there. That's built in.
Yeah. It definitely is. But I thought, man,
but his game is like that.
Yeah, he like that. He's like that. But he'll get it. So we'll see. But yeah, we're right. But look, before we go, Jared McCann didn't have a really good showing yesterday. So we'll see if that was the result of 3 games and 3 nights. He had 2 points on 1 for 9 shooting, 0 for 3 on threes. He did have 4 rebounds. He had 1 turnover. And the thing is, though, he was a +3. I mean, he had 1 turnover. He had 0 assists, though. Justin Edwards being a little inconsistent, I guess. He had 4 points on 2 for 9 shooting, 0 for 3 on threes. Ricky Council was once again the man. He had 20 points on 6 for 11 shooting, 2 for 4 on threes, 6 for 7 from the foul line. But the Sixers are off today, and they're going to practice tomorrow in Vegas. And they play on the 13th. We'll get a really good glimpse of them then. And down here with all the glitz and glamours.
Tell me this, Keith. Is it still 185 degrees out there?
Yeah, it's hot, dude. It's funny, though, because where we are, you got 3 casinos connected, right? And you can walk way through them. So we've been walking.
Yeah.
What I mean? I took my daughter. We went out. We're going to go out and do something today. Today's the final day of the tournament. So afterwards, we're going to go out and do a lot of things. But for the most part, you would take just an Uber ride, whatever. But for the most part, since the competition, you know how these casinos are now, it's like a whole different world in it.
Yeah.
So they will do that. But man, it's hot. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. I mean, it's like, and some people, it crack me up too, who got the rental cars. And I normally get a rental car.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because they got the rental car and it's weird. They literally are driving the equivalent of a block or 2 blocks.
to beat the heat.
Like they go outside, they run and go to the garage, the car burning the heck up, right? You get in there, you're like, oh, and then you gotta park it and then run somewhere by that.
And it's still hot. It's still hot.
It's still hot, yeah. So like, we were like, oh, so you mean these 3 are connected? It's a 15-minute walk? Yeah, okay, we doing that. Forget that.
Yeah.
But today we're gonna go and play tourists, and then tomorrow, I'm back on Sixers mode.
Yeah. So you're staying out there. So you're staying out there for that.
I'm staying out there. I'll be out here until. So what I'll do is I'll be here through the first 3 games.
Okay.
And then I'll fly back right after the next morning. And then they have one more game a couple of days later. But, they didn't want, but I'll be out here on the ground, talking to them like I would have been in Utah. But, I had some family stuff that I'm attending to, like, right now. And it was set up a while ago. So, plus, I hate to say it, I feel it's weird. I don't really get to see my daughter compete.
Right.
And so this was an opportunity for me to do it. So it is what it is. I'm always getting videos,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You got to take it
Hey, y'all. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, y'all, we want to thank y'all for listening. But before I go, I got to talk to y'all about Locked On's national YouTube channel. So Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. And now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV and the free Fire TV channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV channels apps.
Do it.
So look, today. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do it today, people. Definitely do it today. I'd like to say goodbye. Peace out. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. And if some breaking news happens over the weekend, you know where to come and get the information.
Yes, sir.
Come to Locked On 76ers. So for Mitch, Nate, peace out, y'all.
Have a great day, people.